In the headlines, Cuban engineers to help rehabilitate Dominica's damaged infrastructure under a new MOU signed on Monday. Prime Minister Skerrit makes a sizable contribution towards residents at the country's first respite center, and a strong high-pressure system leads to cancellation of ferry services to and from the French islands. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. I'll be back with the details right after this. First up, a new technical cooperation agreement between the governments of Dominica and the Republic of Cuba was signed on Monday. This memorandum of understanding is for the engagement of 4 Cuban engineers with extensive experience in the design of structures and roads to begin work in Dominica from January 2017 for the period of 1 year. According to a press release from the Office of the Prime Minister, this initiative follows the invaluable technical assistance in the form of engineers from the government of the Republic of Cuba following the devastation caused by Tropical Storm Erika last year. Dominica's infrastructure was hardest hit during the tropical storm, with damage to roads and bridges totaling approximately $643 million EC. The press release further states that in light of the human resource constraints on the Ministry of Public Works, the government of Dominica welcomes this new program. The signing of this agreement is seen as yet another deepening of relations between the two countries, which officially established diplomatic relations in 1996. Venezuelans and locals gathered at the Bolivar Square on Saturday to pay their respects in light of the 186th anniversary of Simon Bolivar's death. Bolivar was a Venezuelan military and political leader who played a leading role in the establishment of Venezuela, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Panama as sovereign states independent of Spanish rule. Councillor Ana Kernizan Hernandez said Bolivar is still recognized as a liberator to Venezuelans and always will be.
The liberator Simon Bolivar left a difficult time for him in which he had to endure the murder of his great friends Antonio José de Sucre, the dissolution of his dream, Gran Colombia, and the expulsion of his country by the oligarchical regime that governed Venezuela at that time.
She said the event was a reminder of Bolivar's battles for the realization of what was described as the great dream for the generations after him. Simon Bolivar died at age 47 of tuberculosis. President of the Premium Home and Residential Care Services, FARCS, Marie Jean-Pierre, and her team have been highly commended for their continued efforts in providing bespoke private and adult care here. The Dominica Dementia Foundation presented the home with a lovely hamper on Sunday as a form of appreciation as Christmas holidays approaches.
And I would like to present this hamper on behalf of the Dominica Dementia Foundation to show you how much we appreciate your work and continue on with the good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
In response, John Marie said it's amazing how a young individual has found a passion to form a foundation for dementia victims, which is a chronic or persistent disorder of the mental processes caused by brain disease.
Thank you so much, Rihanna. I think you're an amazing individual. I really feel that I want to support you because it's amazing that such a young individual has decided to set up a foundation for dementia in Dominica. So little is known about dementia here, and you're going to educate people, and I want to be along with you for the ride, and I will help you in whatever way that I can. And thank you so much, you and all your team, for such an amazing hamper, and Merry Christmas to everybody.
In other news, a sizable donation from Dominica's Prime Minister is set to have a positive ripple effect for the occupants of the country's first ever respite center. Andrea Louis has that story.
The Respite Center officially opened in July this year, and 5 months into its operations is still in need of funds to ensure its smooth running. Director of Parents Advocating for the Inclusion of Children with Disabilities in Society, PASSIS in those Irish, under which the Respite Center falls, says the donation by government is timely.
We've been having some challenges in terms of the cash flow, but I must tell you that the government have pumped $150,000 into passes for the year. Of course, we still have a shortfall of $42,000, but recently we had discussions with the Prime Minister and the government of Dominica, and he have indicated that he will meet the shortfall or the deficit. So we are very hopeful that we'll get that early in the new year. In fact, the fencing is not done in Portsmouth yet, and the Prime Minister has undertaken that task to pump some monies into us to do that pretty soon. So in a nutshell, things should be coming on nicely, as the new year unfolds.
Currently, 12 special needs children from the north are receiving care at the institution. The facility can accommodate up to 35 individuals, and Irish says there are plans to increase the number of children in the coming year.
We have the manager, who is Deborah Libler John, right? She, the parents would go to her for an interview, and we have a form they will fill in with questionnaire and so on. There's a selection process, which is, I can tell you, there's a safety net sound, and we hope to improve on our approach, in the way that we process our applicants.
An education component is also on the cards for the special needs children of the Respite Center.
The vision for the center is to make sure that we have an education component. That is to say, we write into the Ministry of Education to get a special ed teacher, so that even if these children come and they get a hot meal and they do their motor activities and so on, we want to make sure that they can do some sort of education, opportunity to learn their ABC, read and so on. And we have 2 sewing machines, and we hope we have a person who is a seamstress employed there also, and she will be trying to impart some of the knowledge to some of the children that are more stable in the sense that they can appreciate and learn something.
Irish is encouraging people in the community to donate to the center in cash or kind to help in their work of caring for the challenged children.
Pageant lovers were entertained with 2 new rounds at Saturday's Queen Show pre-show as the 2017 contestants displayed their talents in the lead-up to the February 24 pageant. This year, casual wear and evening wear were dropped, and instead, contestants appeared in a business attire round and elegantly casual round. They also performed in swimwear and talent. Here are some scenes of the 7 contestants in the business attire segment. Kasim Birmingham of Sufrihere made it 2 in a row when he won the DBS Christmas Song Contest on Sunday. The St. Mary's Academy student who won last year's song contest took the title again this year with his song titled Christmas Again.
Christmas tree.
Second place went to Ezekiel Silas Joseph with his rendition entitled What I Miss.
And I'll tell you what I miss. I never thought it would be like this. And no one else seems to realize we're having Christmas without Christ. Yes, I'll tell you what I miss. How did we let it come to this? And everyone seems to be just fine. We're having Christmas without Christ.
And third place went to Michaela Celine Bonney with her song Bring Back the Sea in Christmas.
For
12 entrants were selected to participate in this year's DBS Christmas Song Contest. Coming up, the latest on the Macushri Bailey Bridge. Thanks for staying with us. A strong high-pressure system has led to the cancellation of ferry services to and from the French islands. The system, which weather officials say is centered over the North Atlantic, has been affecting Dominica and other Eastern Caribbean islands from Saturday. As a consequence, a high surf advisory and small craft warning have been in effect and will continue through 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Large waves and dangerous rip currents can be expected mainly along the north, northeast, and east coasts of the island, and according to the weather report, will create unsafe conditions for small craft operators. A high surf advisory is issued when breaking wave action poses a threat to life and property within the surf zone. Ferry services are expected to resume on Tuesday. An authorized agent of the Citizenship by Investment would like to see enhanced accountability for the program's funds. Attorney Duncan Stowe has been in the citizenship selling business on behalf of the country for 18 years. He is among 25 locally registered CBI agents. Dominica has been operating such a program since 1993. Stowe said he believes even if Dominica has maintained the integrity of its program, there are still issues that need to be addressed.
I am one of those who subscribe to the view that we have to guard and protect this fragile sector. One such way of doing so is by we as agents self-regulating our industry. Agents must know their clients. We must know who they are, where they live, what they do for as a living, and what is their source of income. Protection must also come through the policymakers enacting and enforcing minimum standards for all agents.
He said he doesn't appreciate the political opposition's branding of it as a passport peddling activity. Stowe said every Dominican should make it their business to protect the program.
Oftentimes, you will not hear from the attackers that persons who operate in the program, this to my mind is the highest level of ignorance displayed by persons who oftentimes should know better. Or it may be that such statements are premised on malice. I make these comments because time after time we hear through the media that the source of funds for a national project or program is the Citizenship by Investment program. I therefore implore all governments to continue to ensure that there is full accountability for the funds obtained under the Citizenship by Investment program. After all, it is public revenue, and as such, all people must be satisfied that the program is working for them.
Last week, Dominica and other Caribbean islands in the citizenship selling industry met to explore ways they can make their programs more competitive and strengthen its integrity. And following a setback in Dion Green's plans to travel to France for his prosthetics and rehabilitation, the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, DAPD, will host a concert in an effort to raise the rest of the funds on Tuesday. It was the association's goal primarily that Dion receives his prosthetics this Christmas, but unfortunately the target was not met. It was also said that because it is currently winter in France, it is better for Dion to go in March. 8 artists will perform at the concert: Gabriela from Guadeloupe and Jared Jean-Jacques of Dominica. The goal is $18,000. The show starts at 7 p.m. at the Arawak House of Culture. Coming up in sports, India scored their highest ever total against England on Monday. Cricket takes the first knock. Rain seemed to be the dominant feature over 4 days as the match between Windward's Volcanoes and Barbados Pride resulted in a draw on Monday. Barbados took first knock and declared on 200 for 8. Kevin Stout scored 50 not out, while Shai Hope assisted with 43 and Royston Chase 35. Mervyn Matthew picked up 4 for 52 and Kenroy Peters 2 for 42. In reply, Volcanoes made 42 without loss. Tyrone Theophile scored 27 not out and Devon Smith 14 not out. Meantime, Jamaica defeated Leeward Island Hurricanes by an innings and 73 runs. Jamar Hamilton scored 103 in the first innings for the Leewards, with Rakeem Cornwall adding 66 to help bring their team to 243 all out. Damian Jacob picked up 5 for 103 for Jamaica. The Scorpions replied with a massive 550 for 7 declared, with Brandon King on 194 and Dion Thomas 114 not out. In the second innings, the Leewards were bowled out for 234 in 72 overs. Damian Joseph took 5 for 64. Moving on to football, where waterlogged conditions around the island affected games over the weekend. However, some play was still possible in the DFA Division 1 League. Skerrit Northeast beat Dublin Football Club 3-1 in a keenly contested affair. V. Joseph scored twice for Northeast, with Akel Leighton scoring 1. Glendon Pierre-Louis scored for Dublin. The action was intense at Newtown Savannah in the Police Sports Club versus ACS 711 Portersville Tarish United game, which ended in a 2-all draw. Kay Thomas and Egbert Walsh netted for Police, while Dejante Joseph and Chris Weeks scored for Tarish. And Sunday's matches were called off due to rain. On to international cricket, where Kuran Nair struck a triple century to send India to their highest test score of 759 for 7 declared, and the highest amassed by any team against England. This as England and India battled it out on day 4 of the 5th test on Monday. England opened the batting in the first innings and made 477 all out. Moeen Ali added 146 and Joe Root 88. In reply, Kuran Nair smashed 303 not out, including 32 fours and 4 sixes. Lokesh Rahul also had a good day with the bat, scoring 199. In the second innings, the English side reached 12 without loss by the end of day 4. Meantime, Australia defeated Pakistan by 39 runs in the first test ended on Monday. Australia, first at the crease, made 429. Stephen Smith 130 and Peter Hanscom 105. In reply, Pakistan reached 142 in 55 overs, with the only contribution of note being Sarfraz Ahmed's 59. Australia, batting a second time, scored 202 for 5 declared. Usman Khawaja added 74 and Stephen Smith 63. Set 490 for the win, Pakistan fell short and were bowled out for 450 in 145 overs. Australia leads the 3-match series 1-0. Finally, 26 athletes were awarded at the Pioneers Athletic Club's 20th anniversary celebrations over the weekend. Saturday's anniversary celebration highlighted some of the club's major achievements. The most outstanding under 15 female award went to Keva Peer and the male Nayab Alexander. The under 18s with the best performance went to Beres Francis for the male. The female went to Chanel Nichols. The club has been in operation since 1996 and currently has 56 active members. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us again next time. Your weather forecast is next.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am Janet Macpherson. We begin by taking a look at today's infrared satellite imagery, which showed some low-level clouds across the eastern Caribbean today. Visible satellite imagery showed partly cloudy to cloudy skies across Dominica today. Radar imagery indicated a few scattered showers, mainly across the northern portion of the region. The weather for tonight: partly cloudy to cloudy and windy with scattered showers. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies and windy conditions with scattered showers are expected. Seas tomorrow, rough in open water, waves peaking up to 14 feet. A high surf advisory and a small craft warning are in effect. All users of the sea are advised to exercise extreme caution. Looking ahead for the next 3 days, by Wednesday into Thursday, a trough system is expected to generate an increase in cloudiness, showers, and possible isolated thunderstorms across the area. Persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks are advised to be vigilant and to continue to exercise caution. Throughout the Caribbean tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered showers are expected. On the international cities forecast, clear skies expected in New York. Partly cloudy skies and some scattered showers are expected in Miami and Caracas, while cloudy conditions are expected in London and Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:27 a.m. and sunset at 5:40 p.m. For up-to-date weather information, visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and have a good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. Cuban engineers to help rehabilitate Dominica's damaged infrastructure under a new MOU signed on Monday. Prime Minister Skerrit makes a sizable contribution towards residents at the country's first respite center, and a strong high-pressure system leads to cancellation of ferry services to and from the French islands. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNews19thDec2k16. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To all our viewers around the world, we thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.